Hello, everyone. Good evening. Hope you're all doing good and hope you're all safe at home at your place. So, just think about what you were doing at this time of the day, like 1.5 years ago. I mean, if you think about it, you're probably coming home at this point of time from office, or maybe relaxing after a very hectic day at office and after spending so much time in traffic as well. You were probably among the majority of people who always went to office whether you wanted or not because your management thought working from home won't be productive, right? I mean, how many of I'm sure many of you can relate to this. And you would have been, I mean, even you would have treated working from home as a day to relax. Like if you had one day to work from home in a week, you'd have chosen to relax at home. Then this pandemic happened, the lockdown happened, and the entire workforce of your office was pushed to work from home all 5 days a week. Probably at the beginning, you would have treated these working from home thing as a relaxation days, as you treated before. Probably thought you got extra time because you did not have to commute every day, and probably slept for more time as well. But afterwards, after some time, you started realizing that working from home is no cakewalk. It is not the relaxing time as you thought it was, because you have to do this all the time, because you have to be productive as well in these times. And at some point of time, all of us started realizing whatever we are doing right now, it's not enough. Not enough to excel in this changing world, not enough to be good enough in this changing world. This COVID 19 pandemic is fast changing the way we work and the way we live our lives. It has become a necessity for all of us to work remotely and but still be at the best at your job, be the best while you're connecting to your colleagues and your manager and your people at office virtually. And how can you forget your family? You have to be best there too. You need to give your best to your family as well. I mean, I know this sounds a lot, right? But if you are determined to make it work, this shift you're seeing with the work from home culture that is setting, you can make the best use of it. This can become one of the best things that happened in your life, both professionally and in your family life. Yeah, there are a few things you need to do. There are a few hacks, you can call it hacks, to make sure that you do the best of this situation. So we had an amazing Peak Impact mentorship session last Saturday about productivity hacks you can implement, you can make use of in this work from home situation. So, and today in our channel, Unlimited Potential Inside, we'll have a panel discussion about the same topic. We have some amazing panelists who have been regular students of PIM and have been implementing all the learnings from the sessions they have been attending for a long time, and they are seeing great results in their lives. And without further delay, I'll just call upon the panelists so that we can get this amazing discussion going. First, I'll call upon Vartika. Hi, Vartika. How are you doing?
Hey, hi Jayant. I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing good. So, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Sure, Jayant. Thank you. So, hi friends. I'm back again after a long span of time, and my name is Vartika, and I belong to a place in UP, Lakhimpur Kheri. I'm an IT professional, and I have total 13 years of IT experience. And my hobbies are writing, reading books, and cooking. And I have been associated with this gang since long. So they are all sort of buddies to me, and it's really great to be back here after so long. Thank you. Thank you. Over to you, Jayant.
It's great to have you back, Vartika. Welcome back.
Thank thank
And
you.
looking forward to have this discussion with all of you here. So I'll next invite Narayan. Hi, Narayan. How are you doing?
Hi Jayant, hi Vartika, good evening. How are you guys?
Good evening.
Good
We're doing
evening.
good. Yeah.
I'm
How are
Good.
doing
you?
good. I'm doing good. I'm doing good.
Yeah, you can go ahead and introduce yourself.
Yeah, sure. Thank you, Jayant, for inviting me for this amazing discussion today. So my name is Narayan Jalan, and I am from Jharkhand. So I have 8 years of experience in IT field, And apart from my professional journey, I have my interest on the political Indian politics. Basically, I keep updated myself about the politics every time and about the current affairs. And very much active in Twitter right now. So whatever things I follow the trend and I understand the pattern which is happening. Yeah, and my recent passion is about the public speaking, and that's why I've joined this amazing group, PIM, right? And I'm associated with this group from last 4 months. Thank you for having me here.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Awesome, Narayan. Welcome to our discussion. Next, I would like to invite Dr. Nidhi. Hi, Dr. Nidhi.
Hello, Jan. Hello, everyone.
Hey
Hi.
Nidhi.
So, yeah, you can go ahead and introduce yourself.
Good evening, everyone. As you must be knowing that I am Dr. Nidhi. I am working as a mental health professional from last 7 years, and these days I am working with Jain University as an assistant professor of clinical psychology. And I have joined this particular group from last December. But there were a few months which I have taken as a off, and right now I'm back again. And it's been a really amazing journey with all of you people. And you know, every week we are trying to add some kind of value related to different topics, especially the challenges which we are facing these days, and the practical aspect of it, how we can overcome from this thing. And I'm very sure that people who are watching us, who are listening to us, they must be getting to understand that every week we are bringing some kind of new information which can help in their day to day life. So here we are back again. Thank you so much for having me here.
Awesome, Dr. Nidhi, and very good points you made over there. And
Thank you.
I'm sure that you'll be adding a lot of points today as well, like you always do.
I would
So,
like.
okay, yeah, let's get started then. So before we get into what was discussed in the last session, I'd like to ask a question to all of you. I mean, I talked about like just imagining about what we were doing like 1.5 years ago. So if I ask you, what was the feeling when when you were actually forced to work remotely, work from home, like last year, 1.5 years back? What was the feeling where you went through?
Wow. Wow feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess, after a long time, we would be able to get to at home. We could be able to spend time with the family, and there were so many things which we want to do at by sitting at home. But because of the work pressure, we cannot even imagine that time.
Yeah. So I mean, as you said, like we all felt like relieved and we all felt so happy when we started working from home. But then as
Mhm.
time went by, we started realizing we started getting adjusted to it, and then we started seeing all the bad things about it, or maybe like what are the flaws there or there. So that's where this
Definitely.
session we had last week and this discussion is so important about like how we can make ourselves more productive and overcome whatever distractions, whatever things we are facing in our life.
Mhm.
So, Dr. Nidhi, would you like to start with what was discussed there about there was a survey which Vijay sir talked about. Can you just start with that?
Definitely, definitely. I would like to continue the part I was saying that initially we were, so much enthusiastic, like, okay, we can spend time at home and we can enjoy the, family time as well as the work. But later on, as the time continues, we started understanding, okay, this is not the very easy deal which we were thinking. If we have started working from home, then it is like 24/7 we are working. They can just call up anytime and they want their work. And adjusting with the family life along with the professional life, it comes with its own challenges. And by this time, everyone, we can understand how it works. So last
Yeah.
Saturday, when we were talking about this particular situation, the amazing, statistics came up, and Vijay sir discussed it. Not none the other one. Like, it's a very huge and renowned organization, Microsoft. They conducted a survey in with their organization and the people around there. So they came to know that 66% people want the hybrid changes now. They don't want to go back to their particular framework. They want change. and 73% people want to have a flexible working hours. And they also suggested that generation Z right now, the young generation which we are talking about, Generation Z,
Yeah.
they, only 13% people are able to connect with their organization. That is such a shocking results. And earlier, at the time when we were, when we used to go to the offices and all those things, we had a lot of time to get connected with the people. Although,
Yeah.
there were different things, we could able to relate with them. But right now, it's very hard to understand. Only 13% people are able to connect. Other than that, they are not even able to connect with their organizations. And one more statistics was there, like 41% employee wants to leave their organization immediately. That's another challenging, statistics we could able to see. So, these are the areas which are very challenging in front of us, and we can easily see that, okay, somewhere or the other, stress is there. Somewhere or the other,
Yeah.
okay, we can work from home, but it is not the same anymore.
Yeah, I mean, as you said, this is a big organization as well. There were around, I mean, if I remember correctly, there were 31,000 employees who were surveyed, and out of
Very
that,
true.
40% of them said like we are not happy with this organization, or we are
Yeah,
ready to move to any organization. That is a
yeah,
big number if in itself.
exactly.
So, and this is. This is one organization. If you take all the organizations, there will be similar kind of numbers we will see. People are
True.
not able to connect to people, connect to
Yeah.
their organization, their teams, and not able to get there. So very
They are
good
working
points, definitely.
monotonously, and they are, on the verge of becoming robots. So the
Yeah,
human connection and the, connectivity between the people is just lost somewhere. So
yeah,
that is why it is a very challenging aspect how to deal with that. What are the areas? What are the challenges? So that is why we are here to talk about it. I would like you guys to come up and share
yeah.
your experiences related to this stressful situation. I'm sure Vartika must
So
be
Uh,
having something.
yeah, Vatika, you can go ahead.
yeah, thank you, Nidhi. And I have lot many experiences because I am a work from home mother to a 6-year-old kid. And 6 years old age is such a tender age in which you cannot even beat him, or you just lock him somewhere, or you just made him make him understand, yes, my office call is going, so whatever you are requesting me or whatever you are asking me right now cannot be done. So at this age you cannot make your kid understand. So yes, in starting I was very happy, I will get more time to spend with him, as I was spending so much time in traveling. But slowly when I faced so many challenges regarding maintaining the work life balance, like sometimes you do understand, we all are professionals working. Sometimes we have professional urgencies or professional commitments, and we cannot avoid or we cannot delegate. And in that moment of time, if something like that comes, that yeah, uska ek I mean, uska ek exam hai, there is some exam, you have to be there. So those type of challenges when you face, then it's really hard, although you have to balance out things. But yes, it was challenging in that ways to me, because work from home seems like we are not spending on traveling, but work for home increases a lot. I guess for ladies at least it increases a lot. I'm not sure about guys, because guys are also helping, but it increases a lot for girls, like work from
Yeah.
home plus work for home. Two
Yeah,
things for girls, I guess.
And as
yeah,
you mentioned
exactly,
that
Vatika.
you are
Yeah,
working
go
from
ahead,
home,
Vicky.
then your kid is also, educating from home. So two plus two.
Yes.
You have no other
Yes.
option.
Yes.
So
So yeah, over to
yeah,
you, Jen. Yeah.
one of the points, the first point which Vijay mentioned was about this. Before we come to that, I want Narayan to add few things. I think he has some points to add here.
Yeah, yeah, sure, Jen. So I just want to recall my initial work from option scenario. So I was the guy in the office, right, who used to go for a break frequently, right? Like because I want to make a connection with the people, right? And the human touch. I guess I know like half of my team member. I know the cross team members also, right? When I used to enter and say hi, hello, and we used to go to PlayStation, like play TT. and have a chai sutta, everything like the human touch. Like that's the biggest challenge I faced that when I went to this work from option mode, right? And this whole human ties, as Dr. Nidhi said, right, that only 13% of the people are able to connect with their peers or their colleagues, right? I think that is the something which I also fall into that. And you must have heard that particular probe. So all day and no play makes the jack a dull boy, right? So exactly, it also happens here also. Like people are in the work promotion, they're still working and working, and they don't have a time to basically like play or something, like, because they are into the work mode at all every time, right? So that was the biggest challenge for me. Like, okay, how can you make the human connection? Like, how can you make the social connection?
Yeah.
Because I am the social guy. I used to like go and like whatever, like for 5 minutes or 2 minutes, or at least I used to go to the developer side. Okay, yeah, what's happening? Tell me, like, what's your happening in your life at all? Like, so that actually refresh your mind, right? Like, and you are just
It's stuck.
uh, basically you recall everything, that you are back to the,
Yeah,
like, or
exactly.
I can take a nap also in between, right? A super nap, you can say there was a sleeping room also. So these all things suddenly went off, right? And there's huge pressure which came in between, right? And there's a different challenge altogether, basically. And
Yeah.
instead of play stick, you have your own like jhadu and all. You have to you have a brush to clean. Man, come
Back
on,
to
like this
basics.
was really come on, this was really like very hard
Taking a
experience, I
toll.
can say. Yeah, very challenging for me, because all
Mhm.
the way your apartment has stopped your mates, right, housemates.
Mates, yeah.
And
Yeah.
for 3 months you have to become your, like, you have to play a different responsibility, basically, like you have to play different roles. Like as a cook,
True.
as a maid, and as a father, as a like mother also, not as a father, as a mother also, right? So yeah, it was a
Yeah.
very difficult moment for everyone. And believe me that I didn't have those hacks in that time. If I'd have known this hack today, then my that previous time would be very much easy for me, like, to overcome those problems. But yeah, eventually I
Yeah.
learned in a later stage, like, once we deal this problem, once the problem comes, right, and then we try to find out the solution. But it was little late from my side. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
understand, Narayan. Totally
I
understand.
got
And
it.
I, yeah,
Now I
go ahead.
got it, Narayan, how you made a quick switch as a senior BA, because you might have added all these credentials in
No,
your resume.
no, I have to. Yeah. See, see, I have to resign from the last organization. You know what?
You might have added all these
Yeah,
as a
definitely.
father, as a mother. I mean, nothing
As a
was left.
maid.
So
Yeah, yeah,
they might
definitely,
be like,
definitely.
oh man, just stop it now. They might have started crying. Oh man, just stop it. We are hiring you. We are hiring you.
Seriously, yeah.
We can
I have to go. I have to go for the meditation course.
we can't
Yes,
Awesome.
ask
man.
anything more
Yeah.
to God. They might be like, we
Yes.
can't ask anything more to God. We have everything.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Narayan is the
Thank you
true
for
all
that.
rounder now. Yeah. So yeah, let's. I mean, awesome points, Narayan and awesome Vartika, for adding this amazing points as well. So let's move on. So the one that I think it's all connected to what Narayan and Vartika just talked about right now. The first point which Vijay mentioned was about identifying what you need to pay attention to, and Narayan and Vartika I already added, but I ask you guys, like working from home, and you said that you had to what to say, like take care of your kids, you need to take care of your whole household chores. How did you get to this place? Like what was your thinking? And then like obviously when you were working like going to office, you used to do one thing at a time, right? You used to either go there, sit there for 12 hours or 8 hours, 12 hours, and then come back. I mean, totally you'd be out for like 12 to 14 hours every day. Now being at home, what was the mindset shift you saw in yourself with respect to like day-to-day activities? Like how did you say that, okay, this is the thing I need to pay attention to, all those things? How did you get to that?
If I talk about that kid thing, so I have to streamline things. Like if
Uh-huh.
my office call starts at 10 a.m., so I will try before that his breakfast is done, his bathing and every activity, needed activity is done. So that ways I have to understand what is the priority at what time, and that ways I have to manage. I mean, that was the hack one. We need to identify what needs our attention first, then we have to prioritize, and then we have to execute. So that ways I
Exactly.
was able to make that balance. It was
Mhm.
not very easy in start, but yes, eventually now it is fine and it is working fine. But
Yeah.
yes, at sometimes random things do happen, like my call is going and if I say okay, bye, take care everyone, so there is a voice from background, okay bye, aajo mummy. That kind of these things, random random stuff still happens. Even at times मैंने भिंडी की सब्जी बना ली है, come let's eat. So these things
Uh-huh.
keep going. It's like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yes,
Exactly.
much
As
much
you
better.
said, these are all the things you need to pay attention to, so that you can afterwards you can concentrate on your work. Otherwise,
Exactly.
Very
you
true.
you concentrate on your work, like other things just go haywire, and then you won't be able to do anything at all.
Very
Yes,
true.
yes. We have to make a to-do list and we have to execute accordingly.
Exactly. Yeah.
So that was
Dr.
happening.
Nidhi, you were adding something.
Yeah, I would like to add a psychological viewpoint here. As
Mhm.
Vartika already mentioned that, okay, we need to streamline what needs our attention, right? Like if we can relate with the initial time of lockdown or the pandemic, that time people were very chaotic. How to do that? What to do? How to manage everything? Everything is on the platter. Professional life is there, personal life is there, and the points. We just heard from I guess Narayan that we are not getting any time for recreational activity, which is very much needed. Maintaining professional life as well as personal life is not that much, it's not the only thing. Recreational
Yeah.
activities are also needed. So that is why we need to prioritize accordingly what is needed to be done on the priority basis, what is the categorization between personal goals as well as the professional goal. And once it's done, please don't ignore your own health and own recreational part, because you also need some time to breathe in and breathe
Yeah.
out. It's very essential. Like Narayan was able to express it very clearly. It is very difficult for him to just getting into the nag of this working mode every time 24/7, because he needed a human touch. So that is why you we also need to understand what we needed, and then accordingly prioritize it. Like Vertika has got the expertise in it, how to manage this stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
Don't ask me and don't tell it that it's expertise. I know what it is.
But still you are getting the hang of it. That's a good
Yes,
thing.
Yeah. I mean, you are the
yes,
most experienced person in that aspect, so you are the most
Yeah,
like expert in the
yeah,
panel.
maybe. Yeah, yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
very true.
So, yeah, I mean, one of the things you mentioned was about like own growth, like recreational activities. I mean, how important is that? Like, we start neglecting things, and then, I mean, one of the again, like relating back to what Vijay sir said in the session, he said
Hmm.
that you need to allocate time duration for everything. Like, you need to like we need to make your family as your first priority, as Vartika was telling, and all of you are telling. So, and for that, but you need to give like 1 to 2 hours a day every day, so that like that need is taken care of. So you have any explanation for that? Like, is that like, what do you think of that? Like, giving such certain duration to everything.
I guess that is a very important aspect, because if we are not able to allocate the time between the different areas which we need to complete, then obviously there will be again a guilt conscious there. We are not able to reach the deadline. We are not able to
Hmm.
complete the task, and we are not fulfilling our duties and responsibilities. Then it will be somewhere it will haunt us. Okay, we are falling short somewhere. So obviously we need to have a balance. And I guess as you guys were discussing that to-do list come into the place. We need to
Yeah.
just allocate the things accordingly and then start working. So that in
Hmm.
that way, if you are not able to fulfill all the tasks of that list, but if you are just able to complete the 50% or the 60% task, then at least you will having a satisfaction. Okay, I did something today. So in that way, a sense of achievement will be there.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
Exactly.
Right.
And in that
Narayan, you want to
relation,
add
he was,
anything? Oh,
yeah,
sure. Go
yeah.
ahead, Dr. Nidhi. Go ahead.
I just was saying that this point was leading towards the next part, that connective, connections,
Hmm.
how to
Yeah.
be connected with the different aspects, whether it is relationship or office, people or something.
Yeah,
So
Yeah, just in
Yeah.
addition
exactly.
to what Dr. Nidhi shared, like, see, so everyone has their own challenges, right? And what I feel that, so there's a, I can bucket into three segment where the people were facing the problem and how they are solving their own way, right?
mhm,
So we have a segment called bachelors who are not married. Okay, they have their own challenges. People, again, the second segment will be the married people with no kids. Of course, they will have their own challenges, right? Because they have to take care of their spouse, and people who are married and they have the kids, right? So first thing is that how can we identify the problems here, right? First thing is that you have to identify the problems you are facing on a work from option. Until unless you don't identify the problem, you will not start working on that part, right? Now everyone can
Exactly.
has their own problems, right? Like I fall into the third category, which I'm married. I have my 3-year-old daughter also, right? So when the lockdown happened in the initial phase, right? So there were the challenges of compatibility with the spouse and with the children, right? And there's a lot of pressure which also happened. Initially, we enjoyed, okay, like there's a work from option and we have to work like inside, like, but to stay in the house and we'll enjoy a lot, right? And that's not a case which happened with everyone, right? So yeah, so we need to identify the each problem, the problem which we are facing, due to which, so that we can make a solution on that part. So what I face is that I become very rigid during, or become very furious while working from home, right?
Mm.
And whatever my spouse was like was asking for help, right? Because I was in the call, I was giving my full attention to the work, so I couldn't respond to her very frequently, right? I couldn't respond to her as she wanted, basically. And that actually led her aggression level high, right? And suddenly, all of a sudden, what happened? And there was no point at all. If you analyze minutely, that there was no big deal in between the fight. But anything and smaller thing will take a bigger, like that will
Yeah,
go, that will take into the bigger talk,
exaggerate.
right? Bigger fight.
exactly. Yeah.
Mole to
And
mountain. Mole to
yeah,
mountain.
yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Like, and you will be like, oh man, I mean, thought about this, right? And how come like this small thing has went to the bigger fight, right? See,
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
I
the
mean,
thing that,
so we keep like neglecting all these small flags that we get,
right,
and
right,
then
right, right.
sometimes it just becomes a pressure cooker and explodes, right? So that's what
Right,
happens.
right, right. So you have to
Very true.
Yeah,
identify the problem where actually it lies, like with the spouse, or and that's what like we just explained, right? What are the hacks we need
yeah,
to basically solve those problems. So these are the solve. So
yeah.
so what we can do is that we can understand the expectation of your spouse, right? Once we understand, okay, what she's looking for, and if we are expertise on those area, definitely we should come forward and help them. So one thing I
Mm.
have observed that I think every working people, at least working professional, they have lost their man ego. Like there was a man ego associated with that. I can't wash my plate at all, right? Even though I used to like, eat the eat the plate and I would have to keep it in the table, right? So that was the man ego. That was the job of the woman, man. Come on, you like my father or my in-laws will not ever touch that plate, and they will not keep that into the wash machine, right? So that was a
Mm-hmm.
man ego which had with everyone. Now that is
Mm-hmm.
something has went off, right? I think,
Yeah.
And then you became a father and a mother. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And then as a
Between
husband, yeah, that is
transition.
caring husband also.
Yeah.
So
And
That's
that's
I
very
think
something
good.
which
everyone
happened.
became humans. Everyone became
Very
humans in this
More
pandemic.
human. Yes,
And
more
yeah.
human.
Yeah, yeah, good human, good. I
So
say good human, basically.
yeah.
so we talked so much about our personal challenges and how we overcame that, right? There is also the professional aspect of it. I would like to touch upon, and I would like to get your perspective on what do you think of meetings? What do you have in
Oh
the office?
God.
What do you think of the?
If
Terrible.
if they are video
For me,
calls,
it's terrible.
then
So I can categorize into two part here also again. So one was the
Uh huh.
productive and one was unproductive, right? So unproductive was
Yeah.
basically your scrum calls. I have to explain for the project, right? And there's a productive meeting which happened regularly in the office timing also. Now this
Yep.
unproductive time has increased a lot because for smaller thing which you used to go and approach the desk, right? Approach the people under decks, right? Now which it has increased a lot, like, so you have to explain the project over the phone, over the call, over the
Yep.
meeting, right? And that
Yep.
actually has increased. I think many organization has come up with the solution part, but at the same time, from person to person also, you need to also take care of how can you manage and reduce those unproductive time. But yeah,
Yeah,
having
but
said
then
that, very
so
initial. Yeah.
other thing is that like we need to understand that this is going to be the norm for the at least in the foreseeable future. I
Hmm.
mean, we talked about how we're not able to connect to people, and Dr. Nidhi talked about how only 13 to 16% are able to feel connected to the organization, right? So, but what is the solution? There must be some solution to this, Like, I mean, we know we all talked about how group meetings are not making sense, but then there must be something we can do to feel connected to the team. So, yeah, I mean, Dr. Nidhi, you want to add to that?
Yeah, I would like to. I'm just waiting for that because, as you have seen and as we discussed all these things right now, there is one common, aspect in every problem, whether it is related to spouse, whether it is related to work, whether it is related to meeting, whether it is related to the productivity. That is communication, right? And I feel if you are not able to communicate, and that day also we discussed a great deal about the communication. The basic problem starts with the communication. You are not able to convey your feeling, and when someone is trying to make you understand something, you are not ready to listen at all, right?
Yeah,
Someone is telling you something from his perspective or her perspective. They are into different plane, and you are not ready, and you are not at their plane right now. You're not getting to a hang of it. Okay, what they are trying to say. You are just trying to prove your point, and they are just trying to prove their point. Nobody is listening. So in that
exactly.
way,
Yeah,
if it is a family, then obviously you can retaliate in different forms. Like Narayan was just saying that he was getting furious in those situations, and most of us are also not able to express ourselves. Then obviously we just becomes pressure cooker in a a general way. And what can we do during the working hours? What can we do in meetings? We don't have any went off, right? And these days human touch has also reduced a lot. Right now we are just sitting in front of laptops, talking to people, maybe doing our work, but we are not getting that connection. So that is why
exactly.
these problems are creating and getting more complicated, because we are not able to vent it off anywhere, right? So that is why I feel keep working on the communication level and listening to them, trying to understand if your spouse is trying to say something, what is the need, right? And what are the your needs which you want to make him or her understand. So same goes in the working place also, trying to understand what your manager or team want to convey to you and what you want to tell them. So I guess
Yeah,
this is something which can, be a game changer for everyone.
Yes,
exactly. And
and
yeah, go ahead, Bartika.
I think we are working in a very different scenario. If I give an example, real life example, let's say you have 3 to 4 family members, and three of them are addressing different household chores, and somebody comes at door, and you have a call. So I think being a manager, we should not be very rigid, or being a even teammate in organization level, we should try to understand these new scenarios, that it can be possible at times if we have team meetings, that person might not be able to join due to these unavoidable circumstances. Let's say somebody is there at door, and you are the only one at that time, that moment of time, to address that person. So you will not let that person keep waiting and go, yeah, right? Maybe some
Yeah,
parcel has arrived. So in these scenarios, I think there should be a lot more understanding and a lot more flexibility, which we are definitely getting from our organizations and project managers and team. I must say that I was not very much in personal touch with the team before, but now it's a very different kind of chemistry. I mean, it's unexplainable chemistry now. So
exactly.
that has changed
Yeah.
things. That's a very big
Right.
change.
Right.
So one thing I want to add here is, so before the pandemic, the lockdown started, right? So in my team there was some maybe 6, 7 people, and then 6 months down the line, I did not realize I was not in like complete touch with the team and everything. There were like some 25 people. I didn't know who are all joined and who are not there.
That's
And
a
the
big
thing is,
number.
yeah, and the thing is, like as you mentioned, I did not have that connection with the people. Like when you are actually talking to them, and they have this expectation, they are explaining from their side whatever they want to tell, and I'm explaining from my side. Before I had to, I mean, we had that rapport. Okay, this
Yeah,
is this understanding. Okay, now there is nothing. So we need to.
very
I
true.
think one point we need to do is like we need to have that build that personal rapport in our own way. As Vartika was telling that we can do it. Like we can have that unique chemistry with the other person. We can still do it. You can set up one-on-one call, talk to the person, get that rapport built up, and then like we can go on from that. I have seen that in my office. I'm just telling that.
It has changed
Yeah,
everywhere, Jayant, everywhere. I
Yeah.
mean, these scenarios have really changed. I mean, it has impacted us as a human being, even. At
Yes.
times,
Exactly.
when we sit and think, like, I mean, something has changed. You can feel it. It's like that.
Ex- exactly.
Just
So
wanted to
yeah,
add one more point here. Like I have just joined
sure.
a new organization here, and like of course, like I was also looking for the human touch, and that is something missing every time. So what I felt here is that even though when people have joined here, right, and when they go for the introduction or go for the meeting, I was completely shocked by seeing that people have turned off their video. Like, come on. Like, this is the first time you're meeting with the new people, new joinee, right? And people are still not comfortable with their video. Like, and
yeah,
that actually loses
agree.
out your interaction, right? Like, because you actually are not seeing the faces, or you are not seeing the appearances, right? And all of a sudden when you meet people and looks it's just a different feeling, right, altogether. So I think like when you have a meeting with everyone, or the personal or with the group meeting, please follow that you should turn on your video, right? Now that actually
Exactly. Yeah.
gives a very good feeling, a good touch point, and it
Yeah.
feels that you are actually talking to the people in front, right, up front. So
Instead of
that's
just
also
looking on the
one,
screen.
at least.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I can feel it. Yeah,
yeah,
it's a very
so
important thing. Like as I am teaching in a college right now, and when we
yeah,
are teaching to the different batches, sometimes they are not comfortable to switch on the screens. So what
yeah,
happen at the time? You are able to communicate in a better way if you can see someone is there. So
right,
it's a very challenging task to make all of them to understand, okay, why it is very important to switch on the screens, because the human touch, human interaction is important. And somewhere it is good. Somewhere organization are coming forward and trying to get in a touch with the people, but somewhere still it is a very big challenge, especially
right,
to those people who are just coming into the industry right now,
right. And
right?
that is
Exactly.
why
Yeah.
So we were
our
earlier
in our
people, yeah.
sorry. So that is
So
why, like
I'm just
in our
saying.
panel
Mhm,
discussion, Vineet
mhm.
and Vijay always encourage people to turn on your video, right? And that
Very
is how
true.
we learned also. Like, okay, this is something we should do, because you have to, like, the one positive side is that you have to be present, right? You can't go away from turning on the video and just move around, right? So you have to be
Exactly.
present
You
all
have
the time,
Yeah.
Narayan,
physically and
you might
mentally also.
Narayan, you might have seen that functionality everywhere, right? I am not a robot. I am not a robot. I am really frustrated with that. It's like that kind of thing. If you don't turn on your video, it's like, am I talking to a robot? Am I talking to a machine? Or
Right,
that's a
right,
blank screen. So
right,
Yeah,
that
that is a very
Yeah.
challenging part.
right.
Exactly. And Narayan, I think you were saying like new people joining the organization. I've seen that happen in interviews. People don't turn on videos in their interviews as well right now.
Yes,
So that
yes.
is
Even though, like, after 15 minutes, okay, I'm just waiting for the, like, okay, the other side will turn on the video, and probably after 15 minutes, like, passed away, like, he didn't turn on the video. Like, okay, ultimately, like, I have to turn off my video, man. Come on, I can't be on the same mode where I'm just showing my face and the other person is just hiding, right? So,
Very
exactly,
true.
yeah. Yeah,
so yeah,
very good points, everyone. Like this is something that we all have to follow. This is a etiquette. I think we should all keep following right now. Turn
Yeah,
on our
I guess
videos.
online working
Yeah.
etiquette.
Yes. Exactly. Yeah.
We need to
So,
follow.
yeah. Just to move on, there was one point Vijay sir mentioned about personal growth, right? So, like, I mean, we have a lot of time right now, and this is the time we won't get later on. Maybe I don't know how it will be in the future, but then we didn't have this time before. We have this extra time, so it all depends on how we are utilizing that time. So what are your thoughts on that? Like how exactly we should be using it, and how exactly we can make the best use out of it.
I think that's a very great point, Jayant. And in these pandemic times, especially in last 2 months, almost everyone has faced lot of challenges, and they have lost somebody, their near and dear one. So it's really hard to cope up with these kind of scenarios. And
Yeah.
if you don't feed your brain positively in those scenarios, either you will fall in depression, or either you will become totally unproductive and you will do nothing.
Yeah.
So it's really really important to feed your brain positively, although it's really hard. But yes, you have to do that, because you just can't sit idle, and you just can't think about past, and you have to move on to come to routine life. So it's really really important to feed your brain positively always, whatever makes you positive. If it's reading books, if it's like talking to your friends, if it's like going out on chai, as Narayan mentioned, anything which makes you positive. So that's really
Exactly.
needed.
Very well said, Vatika. That's
Yeah.
really good point. Awesome.
Over to you.
And anyone else wants to add to this?
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I just want to add one point here. Like, see, you have 24 hours with you, right? And you know that you have to work for 10 to 12 hours in the pandemic, and that is very obvious now. Now you have to get a time for yourself, your family, and for everyone, right? So once you get a time for yourself, right? I think what you can do, you can make a best use of this with the meditation. And once you get into the meditation mode, right? So the all the positive energy comes to your mind and the body, which eventually will drive the rest 24 hours of your life or your day. So it's very very
Hmm.
important that you are like you do the meditation for at least 10 20 minutes or 15 minutes or 20, like half an hour, whatever you're comfortable with, right? You start with 5 minutes also, but be be calm, sit somewhere at the corner place and try to meditate, because meditation helps a lot. I have experienced this one from my end, like, and which actually helped me a lot to overcome the lot of issue. So as I explained that I was very become like was very furious. I was very short tempered during my time, and when I started doing the meditation part and all, it actually helped me to calm my mind. Okay, I started thinking, okay, things will can change when how do we react. So basically, it's not about the reaction; it's about the how do you react on the particular things, right?
Yeah.
So I think
Exactly,
that's the
Narayan.
best use you can do, right? Yeah,
That's awesome. Yeah, that's awesome. And yeah, and that is one way to get our mind into focus as well. Like meditation and visualizing what
right,
exactly we want to do in the day, what we have done in the day, and then how we want to do in the future. All these things, like as you said, like maybe meditating or sitting in one place for some time, actually gets you to that.
right.
Dr.
So
Nidhi, you
yeah.
were adding a point. Or
Yeah, I wanted to add one point here.
yeah,
As you all are saying that personal growth, right? The concept of personal growth is there. But I would like to point out this pandemic and this lockdown situation made us realize that we are not invincible. We have our own limitations, because every day we are experiencing a novel challenge. We cannot go out, we have to do work from home, we have to manage work, we have to manage home, everything is there. And
yeah,
at those times we realize we are also having some limits, and when we are reaching to those limits we are just bursting out somewhere or the other. Somewhere we are shouting on someone else, somewhere we are just cursing ourselves, somewhere we are thinking, okay, we are not good enough, we will not be able to do anything. So in those times you need to understand, okay, this is the time to expand your own horizon. And when you start thinking that, then the concept of personal growth arises. And personal growth is something, it is not just something, you just can get it from somewhere. You need to work upon it from ground zero. Wherever, whatever challenges you are facing, you need to see it, you need to identify it, you need to accept it. And then one by one, start working upon them. If you are having anger issues, find out what can work for you. If it is meditation, then it's very nice. If it's physical activity, then it's nice. If you can talk about it, if you just went out your feelings to someone else, then it's nice. Whatever is working for you, just try to pick it up and use as a coping strategy. Don't get stuck somewhere. Like right now also we
exactly.
are using this particular platform as a personal growth club. because right, we know
Yeah.
that we cannot, get the opportunity anywhere. This is the best time right now. If there are some options around you which you can explore, then you should. Like right now, we are doing whatever,
Yeah.
we can make the best of it. So that's what we are trying to do here.
Yeah, very well said, Dr.
Great.
Nidhi. And I think that's a great point. And yeah, Vatika, you were adding something before Dr.
Yeah, I was just adding to Narayan's point that I too have bit of anger issues. Are you starting any meditation classes?
Yes, yes, yes. I have learned the technique. Basically, I went to the.
I too
I've
have
given my.
bit of, yeah, not very much, but bit of anger issues I do have. So maybe that will be a good credit point for your resume as well.
Yeah, I've written over my LinkedIn profile that where I went. So
It
basically,
will
I've
help
attended
others.
the so Vipassana meditation for 10 days. I went
Yeah,
for complete 10 days, and where actually I left the first time I've left my mobile, all the electronic devices out of my life for next 10 days, and that actually helped me a lot in my
it's awesome.
growth journey, in understanding inner journey, basically. Yeah,
Very nice.
That's awesome, Narayan. I'm sure after this talk, I think a lot of you'll get a lot of pings and a lot of messages about this. And
love
I
to
will.
handle all those.
I will message you.
Sure. So,
That's
yeah,
great.
You
okay.
should help your friends.
yeah, yeah, definitely. I'm
Very
I'm
true.
open for all those things. I'm actually part of different social group right now, like Agarwal Samaj, Mawadi Samaj. I'm actually active member of that one, and people have seen that. Like not people, my wife has seen the changes. What others I can say, my wife is creating. Okay, yeah, man, you have changed. Like it was very difficult to take an appreciation from your spouse, right? Because we
I guess
hardly.
if you are
Yep.
getting the appreciation from your wife, that is like world's biggest
Right,
appreciation to
right,
you.
right, right,
You
right,
have
right, right.
won the
Because
world.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah.
because so although you appreciate some in some other words and in some other way, but telling a friend is a very big deal in marriage.
Very true.
So yeah, I mean, we had a great discussion, guys. I think we are at the end of our discussion. So before we end, why don't you go ahead and add some point, like one message to whoever's watching today? What is that one thing you want to tell? Vatika, you can go ahead first.
Okay. I would just like to add, as I always say, that it is never too late to start, and if you're working towards anything positive, then it's always good. And I think it's a good platform where we are talking, I mean, we are talking good stuff, we are talking positive thoughts, and we are trying to understand life in a better way. So it's a really great platform, and the learnings which we get from this session are really helpful. I think that ways it's a really good place to come and interact and to learn and to grow in life. Over to you,
Awesome.
James.
Awesome, Vatika, and great points. Uh, Dr. Nidhi, you want to go next?
Yeah, sure. So, we had a very diverse kind of discussion today, which has started from the, work-life balancing form. Initially, it started from the pandemic, lockdown thing, how we are managing it. And then we came to realize, okay, there are some situations which are stuck with us in those areas. We get to know our own limitations. So I'm just trying to, convey this particular message. If you are experiencing any kind of personal hindrance or, personal limitation or something where you feel that, okay, you have been stuck, don't just stuck there. Try to explore that area. Try to find out what kind of strategies can work for you. And it is the right time to think about yourself. Okay, these are your limitations, then how you can overcome from it. Give your
Right,
personal growth priority right now, because once this offline game is started, you will not be able to think about yourself at all. So right now you
Exactly.
can reflect, you can think about yourself and try to understand what can work for you. So that's what my message for today is. And over to you, Jay.
Awesome, awesome, Dr. Nidhi. And what you said made total sense. And once everything, all these things goes off, like you don't know what will happen. You don't know what is the future, what the future holds for us. So make the best use of the time we have right now. So yeah,
True, true.
Narayan, you want to go next?
Yeah, sure. So, see, I think the work from hacks is the one challenge, okay, which everyone is facing. And there are different challenges I think people are facing during the pandemic. So I would want to appeal all the colleagues, all the friends here, right? So you should find the right association. I think that will make it different, because it is just not the problems, right? It is the different aspect of the different challenges which is coming during the pandemic. And if you don't have the right association, right, you will fall into trap, and you will get into a lot of troubles basically. And when the right institution comes, and there are leaders, there are the people who are actually supporting you, helping you out, how can you face those challenges in the right way, in a corrective way, right, so that you don't do those mistakes. And I think PIM is a great platform where Mr. Vijay, Vinny, they are helping out a lot of many people to overcome those problems, right? In a different way, and that's the best example they are giving, and they are practical, and they're easy to apply on your lives, and that actually makes the impact on your life. And I'm the best example in front of you. So I was the guy who was not able to speak, communicate very well with the audience, and I was very shy guy. Even though I had 8 years of experience, even though I remember correctly, when I joined first time, I couldn't introduce myself, right? And you won't believe that I've given like around 15 to 20 interviews. I was all rejected before the PIM or before my meditation, right? And believe me that I've cracked 4 interviews now, and that was the reason I was not coming in between. Also, I cracked 4 interviews, and I've joined the best one. I understand what would the growth journey, right? I give me the thought process. Okay, what should I look next, right? So that is
Hmm.
something very important. So the power of decision and the power of decision. Decision is will come after when you associate with the good group of people, right? So
Exactly.
join somewhere, and join with the good people, so that you'll be in the guidance with the best mind. Yeah, that would be my message to everyone.
Awesome, Narayan, and congratulations on your new job as well.
Yes, thank you
And
so much.
I too remember you the first time you had joined the panel discussion. I think that was like 4 to 5 months back. And as I
Right.
said, you barely spoke in that panel discussion. And today you are like, I think you spoke the most, and then added like a lot of good points.
Not
so
more than Dr.
That's
Nidhi.
great.
so yeah,
Thank you.
thank you, Narayan. And
Yeah, thank you so
that's
much.
it. That's it, everyone. We had a great discussion here. As you saw what we discussed, like a lot of things, a lot of good points, and a lot of things you can apply in your life and get the most of it. And as Narayan said, Dr. Nidhi said, Vertika said, so this is the platform that has been helping a lot of people during this time to achieve what you want to go like grow, like you want to grow in your personal growth, like you want public speaking, or you want to improve your communication skills, or like Narayan said, like in your career also you can grow. Like this is the platform that can give you that holistic growth to where you can apply yourself and then make the best version of yourself. So if you want to participate, you can ping any of us. You can message any of us in this discussion today, or anyone you know who is attending this Peak Impact Mentorship sessions and association. And tomorrow evening at 9 p.m. we have the next PIM session. And again, like if you want to participate, you can contact any of us. Thank you so much. Thank you for watching us discuss today, and hope you had
Thank you
a good
everyone.
time, and hope we added a lot of value to your life as well. Thank you.
Thank you everyone for
Thank you,
Thank you,
attending.
Jen.
everyone.
Yeah, thank